Man, I knew immediately as soon as I stepped foot within like 500 yards of the stadium, Levi Stadium, I felt this was a Niners big win. I didn't quite think it was going to be, 42-10? The shellacking by San Francisco that we witnessed. But there was just something in the air during that pregame. Niners fans were hype, bro. Like, I'm saying hype, like lit. They were in it in a way that only confident fan bases are. And there was just something about that atmosphere that made me feel like, and I even tweeted it, Niners by 17, this place is going crazy. And it immediately showed up. Not just the fans, but the team. The team came to play in a championship caliber way, did San Francisco. This team, to me, the San Francisco 49ers of 2023, is a special football team. And they remind me, as always, of my favorite Patriots teams over the years. The teams that in New England were champions were not always the teams with the best defenses or the best offenses, but the teams that were the most well-rounded and made the big plays and had very few flaws. And that is what this San Francisco 49er team is to me. They are a special championship caliber team. This is what I look for in a football team. Every year, this is what I search for. When I always talk about year to year, typically I talk about the NFL sucks. Because typically there's not a team like this that is really good on offense, really good on defense, really good on special teams, can punt, can kick, can cover kicks, can stop the run, can run the ball, can throw the ball when they need to, can stop the pass when they need to, can rush the passer when they need to, is really, really well coached. This football team is special. This San Francisco 49ers team is an absolute train headed to the Super Bowl. And I would be at this point, and this is only week 5, entering week 6, but you can mark this, you can clip this, whatever you want to do. If the San Francisco 49ers do not win the Super Bowl this year, I will be genuinely surprised. Now, hopefully I'm not jinxing them here. Typically, I'm not a jinx, because I feel like I've said that about a lot of teams before. So I don't think Niners fans, bang, bang, that I'm jinxing you. The Niners are special, and they have a special guy right now at quarterback. And I don't think enough people are really honing in on what makes Brock Purdy right now. I think a lot of people are simply saying, yeah, the kid's playing well, he's throwing accurate passes, he's staying on time. A lot of physical traits. A lot of things like he makes the right decision, blah, 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 blah. Like a lot of football-y, nerdy things. That's what I often hear about Brock Purdy. He executes the offense. He does what Shanahan wants to do. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. All those things are super important, and they're all true about Brock Purdy. He's accurate. He's a little bit deceptively athletic. He can move. He can actually buy time away from pressure, which is really, I think, a key part of what makes him so much better than Jimmy Garoppolo for this team. He can make the ad-lib play. He can extend the play in a way that Jimmy never could. He can do a little bit. I think this is actually a great reference. He can do a little bit of what Matt Ryan could do in like 2016 with the Falcons with Kyle Shanahan, where there's times where you'd watch Matt Ryan and he could step around in the pocket, step up in the pocket, step away from pressure, make a throw downfield. That's something Brock Purdy can do right now. Doesn't have the arm that a lot of the elite guys have, but he has good touch, good understanding, and I think really good. Right now, him and Tua, to me, the way that they're able to snap the ball, see where to throw it, get rid of it on time, is up there with the best in football. Mahomes is also excellent at that. But to me, like, the thing that makes Brock Purdy really, really awesome, and I think is going to make him a really great quarterback for this franchise for a number of years, is his poise. His poise. And this is what to me always separates winners. This is why I hate when people say that winning is not a quarterback stat. Because coming from a guy that watched the Patriots my entire life and only knows football from that standpoint and that viewpoint, it's very just, I think it undermines the success of Tom Brady. And I feel like guys like Joe Montana and guys like right now Patrick Mahomes, there's a reason these guys are so good and so consistently win. And this is something I've been critical about when it comes to the career of a Peyton Manning. Is like, in the big moment, these guys just don't back down. They don't get scared. They visually do not get flustered. Like, that was Tom Brady's greatness to me. That was Joe Montana's, maybe his best trait. Like, just the ability to stay cool and calm. There's a reason he was called Joe Cool. It's the reason people love Joe Burrow. It's the same thing with Brock Purdy. I don't know if it's a confidence or if it's like just like a belief, an inner belief within the team and himself. But like, this kid is just never flustered. He is always in the moment. And that to me is what's going to make him so good for so long. And that is why I can't wait to watch this guy play in the playoffs. Because I think the Brock Purdy we get right now, it might not be statistically the same, but the best quarterbacks in the playoffs are always the guys that are able to maintain that level of, it's a regular season game at 1 p.m. Eastern time versus the Seattle Seahawks, and it's the NFC Championship, and it's the same level. Not too high, not too low, not too emotional. It's just the same. And for me, that's Brock Purdy, man. So you can talk about the physical, you can talk about the mental. All things very good. But the trait that I think, and this is what I brought up in my Kyle Shanahan is the best coach in the NFL video last year, was he hasn't had a quarterback with this clutch gene. People always wonder, why did Kyle have a losing record for so long? Why did Kyle never win the big one? Why did he blow so many leads? He never had that quarterback that was just ice freaking cold. And that's Brock Purdy. So I am excited to watch a Kyle Shanahan-led team in those moments with Brock Purdy. Because Andy Reid never won a Super Bowl before Patrick Mahomes. Bill Belichick never won a Super Bowl before Tom Brady. Lombardi never won a Super Bowl without Bart Starr. Some guys just got it. They got the ice. And that's Brock Purdy. Now, I also want to just go on a soliloquy about the best coach in the NFL. And that's Kyle Shanahan. I don't know how many years and how many times I got to say it, but I'm going to say it again. Kyle Shanahan's the best coach in the NFL. If you don't think so, you're an idiot. Sorry. But anyways, if you switch coaches in the 49er Cowboys game, the game is not 42-10. I don't know if the Niners lose, but it's not 42-10. It's really not. And this is the thing that's bugging me a bit with the takeaways from this game. So many people are talking about the talent discrepancy between the Niners and the Cowboys. And that to me just makes no sense, and that's far too simple. And I feel like that is wrong, like outright wrong. Like, the 49ers are probably the most talented team in the NFL, but how much of their talent is really the structure, the culture, and the scheme? Like, yeah, Debo's really good. Kittle's really good. Ayuk's really good. They'd all be good in other places. But this isn't Tyreek Hill going from Kansas City to Miami. Like, we already kind of knew Tyreek Hill was Tyreek Hill. Like, is Debo really going to be Debo on the New England Patriots? I don't know. You know what I mean? So, like, what would CeeDee Lamb be in a Kyle Shanahan offense? Understand what I'm saying? You understand? Like, the offensive line, player for player on Dallas, is better than the offensive line on San Francisco. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey is Jim Thorpe reincarnated, but Tony Pollard's a good back. I'm sure Kyle could work with that. Brandon Cooks is a multi-time 1,000-yard receiver who's outright utilized incorrectly. And I just feel like this game is being poorly discussed. Yeah, the Niners are really talented, but the Cowboys are really talented too. Like, sure, Trayvon Diggs is out. They've got a awesome safety trio. Leighton Vander Esch is a good linebacker. Their D-line is sick. I mean, arguably, their D-line is player for player just as good as San Francisco's. And they might have the best player at the edge position in football. And I would argue their corners are just as good, if not better, than San Francisco's. Like, it's right there. They're, like, to me, a lot of this here, this is not a 32-point difference in talent. And people are making it out to be. And that's just wrong. Like, this is a lot to do with coaching and how, and not just coaching, but also personnel and understanding which players fit your scheme the best, which is why I need to continue on a soliloquy here about Kyle Shanahan. Like, I don't think people understand what they're watching here. Like, I really don't understand. Like, I talked about in my best bets video. Like, people do not understand how good the Niners are. Like, that's why I took them -3.5. People do not understand how good Kyle Shanahan is. Like, this is a legitimate issue. Like, I really feel like people don't get it. Like, honestly, I get, like, everyone talks about the play calling, and you look at the EPA numbers, and you look at the graphs. It comes out every week. Brock Purdy's leading the NFL in quarterback rating, passer rating, every whatever efficiency statistic. He's got Christian McCaffrey going for MVP. The very fact that Brock Purdy is being discussed as the MVP is just a testament to how ridiculous Kyle Shanahan is. But that's not even the point. Like, this guy is not only, and I give credit to John Lynch, but guys, the GM is Kyle Shanahan. Like, the GM is Kyle Shanahan. The coach is Kyle Shanahan. The offensive coordinator is Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan has Mike McDaniel, and I give credit to Mike McDaniel. He's a genius in his own right. You don't think he learned from Kyle Shanahan? We've got all these coaches out there from Kyle Shanahan doing work, bro. And every place they go to. I mean, look at Belichick's tree. How many of these guys have been good under Belichick and other places? Look at Shanahan's tree. The guy's like 40. He's like 30 years younger than Belichick. He's already got a more impressive tree. And then we're talking about he's the GM. He's also part of the defensive staff. Like, why is the defense so consistent despite having 3 different defensive coordinators? Not only is it the talent, but it's the dude that understands offense right now in the NFL better than anybody, with the ability to give the information of what an offense is doing on the other side to his defense to help them beat the opponent. Like, that is the job of the head coach. So his advantage in understanding every other team's offense probably better than they know it themselves is a reason why he's so good. Like, I really don't think, I hope this is coming across. Like, I really don't think people get this. I don't think people understand how good Kyle Shanahan is at coaching. Like, I really don't get, and just in general, like, this guy is Bill Walsh. Like, honestly, this guy is Bill Walsh. Like, Bill Walsh was the culture. Bill Walsh was the team building. Bill Walsh was the offensive philosophy. This guy's revolutionizing offense. This guy's building a team. This guy's taking quarterbacks from the nowhere and making them MVP. Okay, I'm done with that. But like, honestly, though, I just don't get it. Okay, it is not Dallas. It is not Dallas. They're just playing a team that is that fucking good. San Francisco is that fucking good.